I have the unenviable task of talking to you about things that are likely to upset you and perhaps even go further. So before we start, maybe you want to sit someplace comfortable and grab some calming tea and listen to the situation regarding contract cheating as I'm about to present it to you. My theme is to provide an overview of contract cheating, and I'm going to try and answer these specific questions. All these questions have been submitted by people in attendance in advance, with the exception of the first. I thought it would be appropriate to start with a working definition. This is just my definition, my working definition. It's one that I developed with Kathleen Burke and Andrew Flostrin as we developed some teaching materials. It's similar to most of the other working definitions out there. So we define contract cheating as something that occurs when a student submits work for academic credit or for selection into a program that was completed in whole or in part by a third party. So who provides contract cheating services? Well, there are local companies and independent contractors, online paper mills, exam prep services, friends and family sometimes provide materials for students to submit. Of course, former and current students, note-sharing sites, tutors, educational consultants, and editors as well. How do those offering these services approach our students? And it was a rainy day in Vancouver yesterday, so I spent a lot of time on this slide and showed it to my wife, and she says, it's like a really good slide. It explains the landscape quite well. Maybe you shouldn't talk so much. And so I'm leaving it up here just for a couple minutes because I think that the pictures here speak 1,000 words. The quotes in light blue, which are the Twitter color, are actual tweets that people have posted about contract cheating on their campus. Contract cheating services are clearly marketed very aggressively through a variety of means, and I'm going to focus on the final 2 points on this slide and show you a couple of examples because, again, you know, pictures sometimes bring things into very sharp relief for people. Here's a clip that I took out of an excellent paper by Brenda, one of her panelists, and some of her colleagues, dealing with a very important issue, that is how students access contract cheating websites through university networks. And I encourage you to look at it. And I think, and I hope Brenda will talk about that study a little bit. In the paper, they show some advertising, first on Craigslist and then on Reddit. So clearly, people don't have to go very far afield to access contract cheating services. There are people in our community, not only companies, but individuals who are more than happy to provide these sorts of services. Now, here's some of the messaging of the more sophisticated sites. First, they care. So they care deeply about our students. They certainly don't care about the money that they're earning, but they do care about the health and safety. So they're letting everybody know that while your teachers in the university might not care that much about you during the COVID crisis, certainly EduBirdie does. If we look at the EduBirdie website, we can see that it's really quite slick and sophisticated, and it looks like a perfectly legitimate e-commerce site. You've got near 5-star ratings from things like Trustpilot. Of course, EduBirdie itself only gives it a 4.7 out of 5. I guess they must be honest because they didn't give themselves a full 5 stars. While you're on the site, an attractive young person will pop up and ask you if they could help you. And look at those nice people who are the top writers for you. They've got lots of success, and they don't look like people who would do anything wrong. And just in case you were concerned about it, they're letting you know, is EduBirdie legit and legal? It's totally legal. It simply provides students with writing samples and research assistance in order to help them perfect their essay writing skills. Furthermore, EduBirdie does not tolerate plagiarism. You know why it doesn't tolerate plagiarism? Because they don't use other people's papers. They claim to be custom writing papers for each individual student. And here are some badges and and awards looking things that they post on their website, guaranteeing 100% plagiarism-free work on the essays that they write for people. They also make the transaction super, super easy. Pick your currency, pick your type of service. You want an admissions essay, you want an admissions profile, you need someone to write an exam for you. Pick the type of service from the drop-down box. Pick the number of words, the level that you need it for, and how soon you need it. They can actually provide essays that aren't too long within 6 hours. So much for the safety of take-home exams. And they make very sophisticated use of social media. Straight out of the propaganda playbook, they create fake profiles with attractive young people who approach people and ask them not only for their business, but they follow up once they're already clients. We care about you. We know you might be under stress. It's midterm time or it's final time. Can we help you? Now, I had thought that I was bloodied and I could no longer be shocked. However, I signed up for Instagram. It's my first Instagram account ever. And I went to the EduBirdie Instagram site, and then I clicked on the little icon that said spring break. And apparently they sponsor all these spring break parties. And they show videos of young people having fun, sometimes laughing at people who aren't in Cancun, living in a mansion on a beach, doing homework. So if you really want your blood to boil and you have the tolerance for it, please check out the EduBirdie Instagram site and take a look at the messages that they're sending to our students about what is normal and accepted behavior. So why do students view contract cheating services as a resource and believe they are recommended by universities? Well, because they are a resource and they address the needs of some students. Students who lack the skills or believe they lack the skills to get the grade that they want. Those who want credentials but don't value the learning opportunity. We see the commercialization of education. People think they're just buying a degree rather than having an opportunity to learn and develop skills. There are a lot of people, certainly in COVID times, who are having difficulty managing work-study balance, and those are vulnerable to the appeals of companies like this, as are students who are meeting high expectations from their students, from their family. Also, to top it off, it fits the bill because the services can be ridiculously inexpensive, little risk of getting caught, and the behavior is generally seen as widespread and normal. So now, why do students believe contract cheating services are recommended by universities? Because, let's be honest, many of them are just being self-serving and justifying their decisions. In an article about the cheating issue that took place at the University of Calgary, I read with interest, one of the students suggested that they thought sharing answers on a Discord server was legitimate. Do you know why? Because the invite came to their email address at the University of Calgary. So apparently some students think that if you receive an email at a university address from whoever, it's the university sanctioning that particular activity. But also they see it as commonplace at their schools. Sometimes these services even get tutor contracts from universities, as has happened at Purdue University. They pay for booths at student fairs. They post ads with university logos on it. They see the university doing little to stop it. Universities often allow these services to advertise on campus. They don't say, go ahead and advertise, but the posters go up and they don't come down. They allow access to these sites through university networks. So if the student thinks that it's legitimate because they get an email, imagine what students think when they could just easily access these sites, even while exams are going on. Is that not the university? In some people's mind, that might leave them with the impression that the university sanctions it. Sometimes universities take sponsorship money from them, and this is not so well understood, but makes me really angry. Universities don't monitor file sharing sites and allow the intellectual property of their employees to be sold. So many of us spend a lot of time on our teaching materials, our assessment materials, and as somebody pointed out on Reddit, the entire model of no-sharing sites is steal your prof's work and then sell them to us, and then use sketchy tactics to collect personal information and profit off that too. Now, it's possible to ask people to take down these materials. However, universities typically don't do that, and it's a lot of work for individual faculty members. So at the top, near the top of my wish list for university support is having staff people monitoring these no-sharing sites and asking them to take down material that is the intellectual property of the instructors there. So how do contract cheating services assist students with their assignments and exams? They write essays for them, they take exams for them, they take whole courses for them, and very important to understand, they provide answers to exam questions and assignments on short notice and often in real time and on demand. So it's not just an issue with people not changing exam questions. You could do all you can and create brand new assessments and spend all the time doing that. And students are able to access online tutors who could provide answers to them in real time. And you can see Course Hero offers this service, and Chegg also does. For $6.95 a lesson or a subscription for $14.95 a month, you could get instant on-demand help from an expert. So take-home exam or timed exam, during something like that, you could text a tutor with an answer, it gets posted on the website, and then all the students also have access to it. And this was a situation that happens many places, but there's a current investigation brewing at Boston University, I think, in their chemistry department. The last question is, what's the difference between a contract cheating site and a file sharing site? And so in some cases, it's clear. Selling exams or selling the ability to have someone sit for exams or write papers or write application material, clear contract cheating. On the other hand, there are some sites that offer a range of things, and in theory, they could be not contract cheating, but the application is contract cheating. So you've got, in green, I've got services that are clearly not contract cheating. In yellow, things that are potentially problematic that can feed into contract cheating, and the ones in red are clearly contract cheating. And the iffy area is, yes, general tutoring, subject tutoring is appropriate, but tutoring in real time can obviously be abused as contract cheating.